I want to give you some context on why I even started vibe coding this idea in the first place. Number one, we already have an established audience of thousands of members that would actually use this app, and it solves a major problem. And I would say the second reason why is now more than ever is the day to build the thing that you want to build. Ideas are in abundance, but building them and building apps and web apps and actual programming around your idea 5 years ago was very difficult. But now more than ever, with the addition of vibe coding and all these tools like Cursor, Windsurf, Bolt, Lovable, you can take an idea from conception to actually a viable product within 48 hours. Hence, you've seen us build this landing page, build up the email capture system, and now today on day 4, we're going to be attaching our Google Analytics so we can start tracking conversions on our website. I didn't realize, I guess at first, that this was going to be a very intense project. I have no experience coding, programming, or building any kind of applications for the mobile or web, and you're going to see this process. Why I'm documenting it is to give people like yourself hope and inspiration that you can do this too, because I know deep down inside you got a great idea. It just takes a little inspiration and motivation to actually put into action. So day 4, we are going to be setting Google Analytics. Let's jump into the computer and get started working on it. All right, we've had a bunch of new subscribers since we started this journey just 72 hours ago. We are on day 4, and I want to walk you through the process from the conception of the idea all the way to where we're at now, and kind of just give you a quick overview on where we're at. So this idea was initially birthed from ideabrowser.com, a startup from Greg Eisenberg, and I've been using the idea browser, and I really want to focus on this idea because I know it's easy to get lost with all these amazing ideas going around. And the reason why I picked this idea is because I'm already involved in the niche, I already have experience, and I already know my avatar and target audience. So the idea browser obviously gave us that kind of springboard and launching point. I really love it. It's free to start, so you could definitely check it out if you're looking to build out your own idea. But the reason why I'm paying for it is because it gives you a lot of frameworks to really build the foundation for your idea. You can see here we did the landing page, we did the brand packaging, we got the logo, we got the color scheme, and you can see here it goes over marketing, it goes over the actual product and what to do, goes over the business plan, your KPI dashboard, your go-to-market strategy, and also research on any competitive analysis. So I think that this is amazing. I love it. Go, Greg. Amazing. Thank you for doing that. But really, it's really all in the execution, right? Because you can have an idea and do nothing with it, and nothing will ever happen. So we needed to take action. We needed to document the process. That's what we're doing here. And will there be mistakes? Many mistakes, but those mistakes are meant to be resolved and kind of walk through that process. So love it. This is giving us a good foundation to start with, and obviously we could tweak any little things that we want to add in, but that's where we're at with this. Another thing I wanted to mention too, and I don't know if anyone else is using this, but using some type of like dictation software to be able to talk to the AI, whether you're using Claude Code, Cursor, Windsurf, whatever you're using. I can just hit a key here on my keyboard, and I can start to talk to the AI and just kind of brain dump the ideas of the project onto Bolt or Claude, and it's just so much better, in my opinion. So if you're not using Whisperflow, check it out. It's free to use. I actually just upgraded my plan. I think you get 2,000 words per week for free, which is good if you use it occasionally. But yeah, Whisperflow has been amazing. So here's our foundation. This is what we got going on. Today's task, obviously you already know, is getting the Google Analytics connected to our landing page. So our landing page is up and going. Also, too, amazing news. We launched the site just 24 hours ago, and I just made an Instagram story and a YouTube community post on my relevant niche. It's called Close Plus Stuff is our YouTube channel. and as well as on Instagram. And we already got 14 email signups of people that are interested in the product and interested in using it. So talk about validating the idea. That is key, because you can work on all these ideas, but if no one wants it, it's going to be hard to make money, right? So validation is already coming in with just a few social media posts, which I'm very grateful for. And now we have that confidence to continue building this project. So here is the landing page. This is just the rough landing page, by the way. This isn't by any means the official final version. This is just kind of like a framework, giving people the idea of what the app is all about. I do want to connect to Facebook Marketplace, OfferUp, Poshmark, Depop, all the reselling platforms. But my main focus to start is just getting people to resell on eBay. So we're going to focus on eBay, API, and all of that as we move forward. So another thing too is I'm using, Claude to help with building out like the launch strategy. So I have a project in Claude, and I've been really loving the project. So I just built out a easyflip.ai project, so I'm able to kind of converse and have it act as like my business consultant to help me kind of execute on these ideas. So this is also with the help of the idea browser. I'm able to feed it all the prompts to give me kind of a step-by-step playbook. So very cool, very cool. That's kind of where we're at early in the process, but let's connect this Google Analytics to our landing page, and that's going to be the task for the day and kind of walking you through the process. I believe I already kind of have it ready to go, so let's get this thing going. What is it telling me to do? Basically, it already set it up in GitHub, so we just need to go to the Google Analytics and create a new property for EasyFlip, get our measurement ID. Once we get the measurement ID, we're going to replace our place folder in GitHub, and then we're going to replace it with the actual ID. And then what we're going to be tracking is page views in session data, session engagement when users scroll to different sections, email signups, button clicks, conversion events. All this is really going to help us kind of optimize the site and get it ready for launch. So key metrics we'll see is the conversion rate, most engaging sections, the traffic sources, the behavior flow. The traffic sources is going to be really nice because I'm going to be marketing this through email, through YouTube, through Instagram, through Facebook paid ads. So it's going to be really nice to know what is going to be the most efficient way to market this. I don't have a marketing budget in mind. I plan on just marketing it organically to start and go from there. But boy, I was thinking this morning this was going to be a little bit more of a difficult project than I initially thought, but I think most people think that when they get going that it's going to be pretty easy, but maybe it's a little bit difficult for me just because I don't have a ton of experience, but I'm excited. So let's get this thing all connected and get it going. Obviously, we get a little rundown on what this is going to actually do, and it looks like it should be simple. I'll report back in just a second. Let's get all this stuff connected. All right, so we are in the analytics dashboard for my Google Analytics, and we are going to be creating a property. I think I'm pretty sure I could share all this. So EasyFlip is going to be the name, and then we're going to hit next. This is going to allow us to set up a little bit more data coming in on our end so we could just optimize the site the best that we can. I just chose business and industrial for the category. Maybe I'll probably just do shopping. Really don't know. I probably could ask Bolt, but we'll just continue on. And I want it to generate leads, and I want to understand web and app traffic. And then I'm just going to hit create. And then it says start collecting data. To set up data collection for your website or app, choose from where you will be collecting the data. Oh, it's from the web. Okay. Stream name. Let's put EasyFlip. Obviously don't need that. All right. Measuring page views, scrolls, outbound clicks, enhancement measurement. Very cool. I'll just leave that on. Create and continue. Okay, so now we're back in Bolt, and I'm just in the discussion mode. So I want to just get a little bit more clarity on what the next step is after we created generated the Google Analytics ID. Here we go. So I'm just going to use Whisperflow. I got the Google Analytics tag. What should I do with that? Let's see what it says. So I wasn't using discussion mode before, and I could have saved a ton of credits by using the discussion mode because we're not really building anything right now. So great, having your Google Analytics measurement ID is the key to activating your tracking. You will need to replace the placeholder with your actual ID in the following files. Once you updated these files, your Google Analytics tracking will be active. Okay, and I will ask, do you want me to give you the Google tag? I have it copy and pasted. Okay, I just gave it the Google Analytics tag, and it just says it just updated the Git repository, and amazing. So it says your Google Analytics tracking is now fully configured, and we'll start collecting data, including page views, email signups, and all of that. That is so cool. The tracking will be active as soon as your site loads. You can verify it's working by checking the Google Analytics real-time reports. You should see activity within a few minutes or visitors arriving on your page. So by all means, this isn't an everyday occurrence. Day 2, we struggled mightily connecting the back end of the Google authentication for Google sign-ins, and it took forever because I had to redo the GitHub repository. Day 2 was a struggle. If you want to go back and watch that, you could see me work through a lot of problems. But day 1 and day 3 have been smooth so far. I already know that this is going to be much more than just connecting, APIs and stuff. It's going to be interesting. So I want to go over kind of like the blueprint as far as like what's to come in the next couple days, because we are going to be releasing a video every single day on the channel, and I want to share with you because it's an amazing time to be alive. It's an amazing time to be alive, and I want to just show you all the problems that we're facing and what we're going through. So you can see it came up with a 4-week launch strategy that we got from from the idea browser on kind of like a launch strategy. So I gave that prompt into Claude, and it just built it out for us. So obviously 4-week launch strategy, I think that could be doable if we're working on it every day for 4 to 8 hours every day, possibly, just depending on the learning curve. But we got the landing page and the lead magnet done, and we're already at 14 signups. It says target 100 signups. Launch AI pricing calculator as a free lead magnet. I think that would be a really cool thing. There's more to it than that. I don't just want to put an AI pricing calculator out there. I think I would be wanting to implement the phone or the camera on your phone so people could go around and start photography of anything that they would want to sell, and it would give them like an instant price analysis on like what that item would sell for. So I think that would take some work. We did set up the Google Analytics and start small Google Ads campaign. I'm not going to do that right away. Content creation, it's just talking about how we're going to market it. I release a video about every week on the other YouTube channel on where we're going to kind of be getting leads from. So in Monday's video, I'll kind of mention, that's the project we're working on. That should generate more signups, as well as I have an email list from doing wholesale and consignment with our clothing program of about 3,000 people. So those are all resellers that might be interested in this app as well. Week 2, since we're only on day 4, so this would be kind of like next week's idea, is developing the MVP, set up development environment, React Native or Flutter, and integrate computer vision API. So yeah, we're going to be either using Google Vision or AWS Recognition. Build photo, upload interface. So this week 2 is going to be insane, guys. I don't want the videos to be like more than an hour long, but I do want to include as much problem solving that we're going to be going through just to be able to help you on the other end. So we're also going to be signing up for a developer account with the eBay API that said it could take up to 14 business days. So I'd like to get ahead of that and get that going. User research, survey your community. What items do they struggle to price and sell? This is amazing because I kind of already know. Listing on eBay, just in general, or creating listings manually is it's the most tedious, boring part of this whole niche in business. Going out and finding items to flip to resell is the most fun part, but getting them listed is the most barrier for this whole business. The people that I've met and talked with over the last 5 years is, people love to shop and love to go and source items, but they end up accumulating what is called a death pile of unlisted inventory, and then that ends up being a problem. So the whole problem to solve with Easy Flip is to help people get those items listed and not have to figure out writing a title, description, filling out all the item specifics, responding to buyer questions, and comping out the item, figuring out what it's worth. So that app that we're creating is supposed to solve a lot of those problems to cut down on the listing time. So that's what I'm kind of looking at forward facing on the vision. Week 3, we're going to be starting with eBay, like I said, and just kind of going through all that, the beta testing. I'm hoping this takes 4 weeks, but you got to have some hope when you do these projects. But I am expecting, prepare for the worst, or expect the best, prepare for the worst. So if you want to follow along, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Day 5 is going to be filled with a ton of amazing, fun, new little things we're going to be adding to the project. So make sure you subscribe. And if you guys have any feedback or any questions, let me know. I'd love to hear where you're at in your journey, and we'll see you in the next one. Be blessed.